Hey everyone, what's up? It's John from the Big Apple Film Festival. So we have our web series and music video expo coming up on June 16th at the SVA Theater in New York City. So in anticipation of that event coming up, I want to talk about some success that some web series creators have had over the years. And one of them I'm talking about today is The Haunting of Sunshine Girl. So this is a series, it's an ongoing supernatural horror web series that's currently available on YouTube. It was created by Paige McKenzie, and she also plays a title character named Sunshine. It's also created by Nick Hagan and Mercedes Rose, who is Paige's mother in real life and in the series as well. So this series actually first launched in 2010. So they got on the concept of the web series on YouTube pretty quickly. Because this is really the early years, I would say, of the really professional web series coming around on YouTube. And so it rose in popularity pretty quickly within the first year, getting more than 4.3 million hits, which is amazing for a show that new. And the average episodes are about 2 minutes or so. Some are a little more, some are a little less. And so the main thing that I want to focus on first, the first part of this, is that they took it very seriously from the beginning. They did not say, okay, let's just try something and see where it goes. They knew right away that they were not just going to get discovered and somebody was going to find them. They knew right away that they had to build their audience, find their niche, find their market, and target their audience. And so one of the very first things that they knew they had to do was figure out how exactly they were going to go find that audience. So that said, one of the first things that they did was they did an analytical search on YouTube, and they began to research which keywords were being used the most amongst this particular fan base. It seemed that words like ghost and haunting seemed to be some of the most popular words. So right away, they knew that they had to use these words in the episodes and even in the title being The Haunting of Sunshine Girl. So immediately they knew that keywords were going to be a huge part of this, because these words are what are known as searchable terms. Using searchable terms is when there's so much saturation in the marketplace, when there's so much content out there, it's really important to use those searchable keywords, and they prove that in the development of this web series. They understood that they had to define exactly who their market was going to be, and they knew that market was for people who were interested in ghost and haunt videos, and there are plenty of people out there that love that, and they knew that. And so they began to target those audiences. They did it through hashtagging. They did it through posting to specific groups, targeting that particular market, as I mentioned, using those searchable terms. And all of that, along with really great content, they were able to develop a very dedicated audience. One thing that they stress is be consistent. They knew right away from the very beginning that they would have to be uploading videos on a regular basis, and not just episodes. They would profile the whole experience of making the series. Their YouTube channel consists of interviews. It consists of behind the scenes footage, the making of. All of this is included. So they're not just showing you the episodes, but they're actually telling you this entire story behind it. So, you know, they knew that this idea of posting here and there every once in a while is not going to build an audience. When it comes to a web series or any type of series, consistency is absolutely imperative. So that was, they took on that commitment from the very beginning, that they were going to be full on dedicated and consistent to this project. That said, they didn't have a large budget, which is very common with the web series genre. So they knew to focus on what they had versus what they did not have, which is, as most independent filmmakers know, is probably one of the most important aspects in terms of budgeting, is to focus on what you have and not focus your attention on what you don't have. And that really goes for all levels of success in life, really. So they got themselves inexpensive cameras. They used very basic scare techniques that did not require any big visual effects. And they really, in many ways, it worked out well for them, because that way they were able to focus their attention on really developing good content and reaching out to their audience, as opposed to focusing so much on high budget and having to raise all kinds of money. And it worked. And they even they cite some inspiration. Robert Rodriguez, for example, they use him as inspiration. He made El Mariachi for, I think $7,000 or something like that. And he really just used the locations that he had access to for free, a cheap camera, just actors that he knew, things of that nature. So, the creators of this series pretty much did the same thing. They also cite Tyler Perry as an influence as well, because he was initially a playwright who produced his own plays on his own. And from what I've heard, the first play he ever did had 30 people in the audience. It ran for one weekend, and it took a while to get it off the ground, but eventually he began to increase his fan base and his audience base, and obviously led to quite a bit of success, a lot of success, obviously, as time went on. So as they began to build up traction on their series, The Haunting of Sunshine Girl, they began to build up their fan base, thousands and thousands of followers over time on YouTube, millions and millions of views, and eventually they began going out to LA, meeting with people. They had a meeting with Awesomeness TV. They got into 17 magazine. They were profiled in 17 magazine, and maybe when they had that experience with 17 magazine, they even profiled that on their YouTube channel, and they speak about that as well. So really, you're just following this whole story as it goes. Basically, they say they really spent the first 3 years of this process building their audience, and really taking advantage of every single opportunity that they could. And then ultimately they are approached to write a book. And initially the concept for the book was to be what it's like to be a YouTuber. But then Paige and the rest of the team, Mercedes and Nick, realized that wasn't the route they want to take. They want to focus on their series. So they decided they were going to write a series of books around their web series, The Haunting of Sunshine Girl. And that's exactly what they did. So now here we are. They have, I believe, 3 books out now. They're available on Amazon and beyond. They have a literary agent. They have sold a large number of books so far. And they really are a great example of how to really make a web series a success. So congratulations to Paige and Nick and Mercedes and the whole team of The Haunting of Sunshine Girl, a true class act and just such a great example of how to build an audience for a web series. And keep in mind that the Big Apple Film Festival web series and music video expo is coming up June 16th. If anybody's interested or has any questions, attending, tickets, submitting a project, feel free to contact us. BigAppleFilmFestival.com.